Hi Virgo, this is Raina. Welcome to your June 2015 tarot reading. And before I begin, I just want to say that last night I did a spread and I can't remember who I was picking my cards for. I think it might have been for you, but I didn't actually sit down and record it because it was very late. And when I went to look at the cards, I was like, okay, who did I do this for? So just in order to be totally conscientious, I have a moon in Virgo, so I have a little bit of the Girl Scout in me, and I have to do things, by the book, so to speak. So I picked your cards over again, and I just want to make sure that I have a very clear intention when I pick my cards so that I can be as accurate as possible. I created my own spread. It's a mini reading, obviously, because it's going to be relatively short. It's also a very generalized reading. If you would like a reading tailored to you specifically based on your birth data, please go to rainamoonastrology.webs.com for a description of all my services. Thanks. And in terms of the cards that I picked, the first card is a card that I picked to describe the energy that is going into the new month. So the energy that Virgo is bringing into June, and I picked the Ace of Wands. Now the Ace of Wands is a very positive, forward-thinking card. Aces are always beginnings, and wands relate to creative projects of some sort. It could be a business, it could be something in the artistic area, but it's something that expresses you and that you're putting out into the world. And there's a lot of enthusiasm behind whatever this thing is. I suspect that this is something that is not just from May, it might even be from March or April, because wands connect to the spring. And if you look at the picture on the Rider-Waite deck, it's a picture of this branch with all these buds. So it's to signify the very beginnings of some endeavor, and also to denote spring as the timeline. And wands are connected to the fire signs in astrology. And the fire signs, Aries, Sagittarius, and Leo, are all known as enthusiastic and creative as well. So this is the type of energy that you are generating within yourself and coming into June with. The second card I drew is supposed to represent the first half of June, and I picked for you the Temperance card. I picked this card for someone. I picked this card for Sagittarius last night, and it was funny because I'm a Sagittarius, and I was saying that the Temperance card is associated with Sagittarius, and I always thought it should be associated with Libra because it's all about balance, being, moderation and things of that nature. But now that I think of it, it could relate to Virgo too, because Virgo is a sign of moderation naturally. Virgo is modest, unassuming, can be a health food nut, can be into health foods, nutrition, that sort of thing. So it could be that someone who is a Sagittarian figures into your life for the first half of the month. It could be a piece of advice to you that whatever you're bringing into the material through this venture of yours, to temper your enthusiasm. Definitely don't dampen it or be discouraged, but try not to go overboard. Try to exert self-control, and because this project could be very exciting to you, and you might be tempted to work long hours, or you might have this kind of a manic excitement about it, and it ends up making you have burnout. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to work for somebody else. You could be working for someone else. It could be a new job, and you're really excited because it's something that you wanted so badly. But I do get this feeling of creativity surrounding it. So it seems like it's something that you're putting your personal imprint, your energy into it. And the Temperance card just says, stay in control, no excess in regards to that. Or that someone who is a Sagittarian will play an important role in your life during the first half of June. The third card I drew represents the second half of June, and for you I picked the Two of Cups. And this is a very romantic card. All Cups cards deal with love, relationships. They're connected to the water signs in astrology. This could indicate a marriage. This could indicate that you take your relationship to the next level, or that if you've been estranged from someone, you are going to reunite with them. And it doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. It can be something that is platonic. But whatever type of relationship it is, it indicates harmony within your relationship. So Virgo, it's possible that in addition to having success with a business venture or a creative project, you're also going to have a very satisfying romantic partnership or friendship. And this is wonderful because there's that temperance and that balance, that your life is not just work. Your life is just not a series of relationships, but that you can have both and enjoy them thoroughly. So the last card that I picked is supposed to represent the general energy of the month of June and possibly offer some advice for you in what to do during this month. And I picked the Three of Wands reversed. In Anthony Lewis's wonderful reference book on the tarot called Tarot Plain and Simple, he calls the upright Three of Wands birth of an enterprise. And this is exactly what I said regarding the Ace of Wands, the start of some new venture. So this is kind of a related card. In its upright position, it also deals with getting assistance from other people in partnerships, teamwork, that sort of thing. And so you got the reversed, and what this might suggest is that your business is not taking off the way that you want it to, and you might be feeling some frustration. And anytime that we see a card like this, we have to realize that it's one thing to be optimistic, but sometimes we're a little unrealistic. And I think that this card is connected to the Temperance card that I talked about before as being for the first half of the month, that you have to, Virgo, you have to keep your dreams grounded, I think is a good way of putting it. Because otherwise, you might expect too much, and then you become frustrated and disappointed when they don't pan out the way you had hoped. And it doesn't mean that they're not going to pan out. It's just that we live in such a fast food mentality that we think that we're supposed to have everything yesterday. And success sometimes takes time to build, maybe most of the time. And, things don't just go viral overnight and everybody's in love with it, So you have to be willing I said this to another sign. You have to step out in faith, and you have to know that even if it takes longer than you expected, that you believe in your project and that it will eventually catch on and that you will see success with it. And one thing you can do is to set goals, long-term goals, that I'd like to see this much by this time, but make them small. Don't try to have, don't ask for the moon and stars right off the bat. It really isn't an energy that I associate with Virgo, or an attitude. You guys seem very grounded already and not prone to exaggeration. But in the enthusiasm that overtakes all of us, you might have envisioned something coming to pass that in reality is going to take a lot longer to unfold. Another thing that Lewis mentioned with the reverse position of the Wands, Three of Wands, is having unhelpful alliances. And so if you were counting on other people to help you and they've turned out not to be very trustworthy, competent, and they flaked out or they somehow proved otherwise, I think that it's important to acknowledge that and to kind of go back to the drawing board in certain areas. Also, Lewis says that this card relates to timid people, and I know Virgo, sometimes you lack self-confidence and you might not believe in yourself, and this could also apply to whatever it is that you're trying to promote. So I really think that this is something to work on in June, is whatever it is that you've engaged in and that you've initiated, that you remind yourself that it is going to succeed. You might want to look on YouTube. There are a lot of these wonderful brain entrainment stuff. I don't know if they have subliminal messages or what, but they have for different subject areas, and I know they have them for confidence. So listen to positive thinking, law of attraction, affirmations, so, and get your good vibes going so that you can really keep attracting more and more success in your life, in your public arena. I think that that Two of Cups is going to be very helpful for you navigating any possible delays in your business venture. So that's a cool thing. And in any case, I hope you got something out of this reading, Virgo. I will be back in the very near future for your July astrological and tarot forecast. And until then,